Hey y'all, what's up? I'm a floating head today, and I forgot to turn my mic on. Welcome to Existential Gamers Live. We're playing Katamari Damacy reroll, and I'm joined today by the one and the only Josh Green. How you doing, sir?
Hi, everybody.
I promised him we'll play this game when he was able to get on again, so here we are.
Easy.
I've been wanting to play this game too, so it's great. I finally get a chance. It's such a weird game.
It is beyond weird. And it's actually practical too.
What do you mean by that?
By the way it's set up. Like, the game progresses in a way when you roll the items up that you can't, I mean, you played the game a bit. You progress further down the line by picking up small items, and then the more small items you pick up, you can get bigger items from the size you become, and so on and so forth. That's what I mean by practice. So, it's one of those, like, no matter what you're doing, the game progresses in a practical way.
Let's see. It's gonna be annoying to remember all those controls, but I'll do my best.
Oh, you'll get it, man. Like, trying to play this on, Switch though, it's super friggin' hard. And I think, like, playing it handheld-wise is hard, but when you get it with the controller, you can, like, view it on a screen, it's a lot easier. And that's something I gotta do, is I gotta play my version on the Switch with a controller in order to kind of get the old school feel I got when I was playing it on PS2. The first time they had it released, oh lord, he just became a giant golf ball.
Destroyed the moon. That's gonna destroy the Earth.
Yeah. I like it. This guy destroys everything. He's like, okay, son, you have to go fix it. It's like, yeah.
The face when he says that too. Hurts quite hard.
Yeah.
What do you think he's supposed to represent?
Chaos.
Chaos?
At least he, like, the dad's supposed to represent chaos. Because he, like, throughout the game, he says some ridiculous stuff. And it's supposed to be, like, philosophical, and you're going, no, that doesn't make any sense. And he gets mad at you for not doing the cleanup that he should be doing.
What?
If you mess up on, like, royalty. One of the levels. Huh?
I said that's royalty.
Yeah, you're not wrong. That is technically royalty. That's how they work sometimes. So, like, some of these are super easy to get done, and then when you get, like, closer and closer to, say, going further into the outside world, that's when it gets harder.
Oh, right, because you're timed, right? You're trying to get as big as possible in the cinema.
You're timed, and then you got to get, like, a certain amount of specific items in some of the levels, and, like, I think one of the levels you have to get a bunch of geese just out of nowhere. It's like you have to make a geese star system. Which, at this point, I hope I'm not ruining anything for anybody, because this game's been out for so long, remastered, and redone multiple times in multiple ways. You know, it's kind of like, and that's another thing I wanted to point out too. Like, when you pick up odd-shaped items, you have to continue picking up items so that way, like, it could be more spherical? Yeah. So, like, you picking up that pencil, if you would have picked it up and it would have been more at, like, a certain angle or something, you would have been just rolling this odd-shaped looking sucker for years.
Yeah.
Or not years, but minutes.
Oh, I can't get the snail.
Yeah, you're not big enough. And it'll attack you too. That thing gets fierce. It's like all of a sudden, like, what are you doing? And you go and you try to get it, and then it comes at you and then knocks like the items off. Like that happens. Oh man, this is like one of my favorite games of all time. Like if I had to pick between playing this and Final Fantasy VII over and over and over again for like a month straight, I would pay Katamari Damacy more for a month straight than I would Final Fantasy VII. Like, I'm not gonna say I would play only this one game for the rest of my life. That's insane. But just the amount of detail and kind of care that went into this game. Like, another thing, you just straight up picked up a plug, but the cord's still there. So it's like that ridiculous kind of stuff. Oh, man. And you got big up in size.
Oh. Oh, okay, so that's it.
Yeah,
Alright.
yeah. The first like version, like the first level, which is that house that you're at, he'll start you off small.
But you stopped me, that's why.
Yeah. Just wanted to make sure you had it right.
Oh, that's right, I forgot you create like stars, right, from the objects.
Yep. Stars and you create stars, stardust,
planets, yeah, planets.
constellations, and whole planets.
Did they ever show the queen?
She comes in We Love Katamari. Like, that's the one that she pops up in more often. Is We Love Katamari. She does have I think she does have a scene or two here where she shows up.
Okay, let's...
The Katamari reroll is like a compilation of the best. It's the original Katamari Damacy, but with added levels from We Love Katamari and a couple of the other like specialty games and BSC and stuff like that.
There we go.
All remastered.
Alright, let me fix this really quick.
Yeah, so you get the original game in whole, plus like a few extra levels here and there, I think.
How long is this game?
I want to say top. It takes maybe, if you do it right, 2-3 hours. But you can play the game up to almost 10.
Okay.
10 hours.
I want to get as far as I can today, then.
Yeah.
Where do I go to keep going? Do I do the star, or...?
You can... Yeah. It shows you periodically where to go. Like the little spheres, like the beginning of the levels, and then they'll turn into stars when you complete it.
So, that's enough about the game, I think. Let's focus more on how's life? How's it been? How's it hanging? I actually had a couple things I wanted to talk to you about. But,
yeah, I have been seriously busy. I've just recently um, started working as an intern the Frida Cinema out in Santa Ana, and it's at the moment slinging popcorn, serving soda, stuff like that, just regular old like movie theater work. But I am moving towards conversing more with. What'd you do? Oh, you attacked the trash.
Me.
And those friggin' rats, or those mice. Those mice are killer. What was I? Oh, I'm speaking with a lot of the program directors and managers there, so getting some experience behind the scenes of running a movie theater. So, the first guy I'm talking to runs the programming, and I wanted to learn about how he networks and talks to the studios and production companies and releasing labels and stuff like that to acquire the rights to screen the films for a set period of time, and how much it costs, how much one can make doing that, and then how the whole kind of business works behind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, is that what you want to do eventually? Is have your own theater? Or is it just like a nice dream?
It's like you know I want to be like a history teacher of film and music, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm seeing it as gaining experience in the industry through at least in any means necessary, because I want to do a lot of production and writing. So, and that's where a lot, at least what I'm starting to understand and learn from just even talking to the managers there, that they're all in the same kind of boat. They do this kind of work to learn how it goes from the consumer's point of view and the I guess managerial and programming point of view, in order to gain a better insight of what it's like, at least on the outside, before going in. They all want to do. At least one of the guys I talked to, he wants to do more artistic kind of directing. He has a real fascination with still imagery. So his idea is to, and actually both the managers I work under too, along with the programming directors, I believe all have degrees in film right now. Because at least the two managers I work under during the shifts I go to have completed their schooling at Fullerton, and they both got their degrees in bachelor's degrees in film and broadcast. But anyway, the weird thing to say about just film and even media jobs in general, and I'm sure you can agree with this, and even like, I think the word I'm looking for is contest to, is that despite having a specific like path you're going through in college, you end up learning more about everything in general within the realm of media you're going into versus just the one specific thing that you're trying to go for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's going to happen with a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
It's the idea of meta skills. Like, you're going to start seeing how everything is so interconnected. And that's important. You know, it's good to understand that.
Yeah, so despite me wanting to specifically go into like production and programming of theaters and even writing, I'm still finding myself wanting to learn as much as I can about everything needed to kind of put together a whole environment of love for film is what I'm trying to get to. Very, very, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I said, you're gonna be coming across all types of stuff that you're just gonna make it just be like, oh.
Yeah.
Which I wish I understood before the fact, because when I try to try to get a credential in art, I didn't realize you had to like know so much besides just like, because I was just going in for what is it, commercial art.
Yeah.
And they want you to have like experience with all types of art, not just commercial art. And I was just like, geez, I have so much to learn now. At first I was frustrated with that because I was just like, well, like why can't I just teach commercial art? But it's like, no, it's good to know all the different kinds.
Yeah. I actually kind of laughed as a counselor and questioned me taking a theater class randomly during the summer. And he was like, just focus on your film and broadcasting stuff. But then the more I got into it, the more I realized, you know, I think I even had one of my teachers tell me too, it's like you should not only focus on what you're focusing on for your degree, but take little classes here and there related to it in order to get a better idea of the all-encompassing art of making art in general. You know?
Yeah.
Because, like, when it comes to making films, making movies, you can be okay on paper, but if you don't understand a lot of what is expected of the people who are a part of the whole production, like the gaffers, the editors, the soundtrack supervisors, the actors, all that, then you're kind of just going in blind and expecting all these people to be able to get what you're trying to portray.
Which happens a lot in the industry.
Yeah. So, like, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of good directors out there that do that don't have to go through and do all the idea, like, all-encompassing ideas. They're trying to take all the all-encompassing ideas of what film is. But then on the other hand, some of the really great directors are the ones that have also had acting jobs and have had editing jobs and have worked behind the camera and have been more so all over the place within the realm of film and, you know, film, media, music, whatever. They do more than just one thing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and industry in general is leaning towards in that direction where they want people to be, which I find funny because I feel like for a long time it was more focused on people being specific to a certain job, like a certain task. Like if you're a coder, you are a coder. You learn everything about coding. But I feel like they want people that are more all around. You know, like the jack of all trades. I feel like those guys are becoming more and more important. The generalist. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm gonna turn the sound down on those games.
They're looking for more all-around people. Like, I know, especially in your case, you focused more on when you were starting out in the arts, and then went into now you got options. They're giving you options, and then you went more into the sciences.
Yeah.
Kind of having that creative background probably helped with your presentation of certain theories and projects in order to
definitely help.
make a more appealing kind of more appealing presentation. So
Apparently I'm doing really
I
bad.
know
in
with
this game.
biology is a lot of the time, you know, practical presentation. How do you present this theory in a way that is appealing and you know, good enough for everybody to understand.
Yeah.
So
God, I'm doing so bad.
that's what I've been doing right now, and I just finished taking a screenwriting class. I haven't looked at my grade yet. I'm not sure if the teacher has graded it. My final project, which was 10 pages of a script I was working on, so I need to find that out pretty soon here. That way, when I go into my next classes, I'm not going in blind, because it's next going to be post-production and intro to electronic media or something like that. So I got to be prepared to do a lot of paperwork, which is one thing I never thought that would be a part of film. I should have known better, because you're sitting there and making sure that whatever you're putting out there in the world, it's going to be able to tell a story, and is damn near cost effective to be able to tell that story. Full disclosure, I think you actually said those. Huh?
You said cost effective to tell the story?
Yeah. Because you're gonna run into the cost of production. You're gonna run into the cost of hiring the actors, setting up the crafts table. I didn't realize a lot of directors end up being a part of that part of the production of film. Like that's all. To me, that all seemed like somebody else's job. But no, it's more. It can include the director or the producer, or even like executive producers at times, to figure out how much money or how they're going to fit all what they want to bring visually to the screen into a budget. So, and that's definitely also something I learned a lot from different teachers too. Is like, some are very like, you're going to be able to capture what you want to as a director and as a writer, and there should be no sacrifice to your vision. While other teachers are like, you can still do that, but you got to keep in mind that you can't sit here and ask for a $500,000 like special effect on $1 million budget.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So, stupid dog. Hate that dog.
We put all these water bottles here, whatever they are.
Yeah, there's that too. All that crap.
So right now you're doing the internship. What is your next goal after this?
Well, since I didn't get accepted to any of the colleges I applied for, unfortunately, I have to go back and apply for the removal of a couple of bad grades. So I can get like 2 or 3 classes, or like I think it's like 6 or 9 units removed to improve my GPA. And then I can go and reapply for fall semester 2022, and then go from there, really. And all I'm doing right now is kind of filling in the spots and getting my full film and broadcasting degree completed. Because actually, I got a general education degree done. I am a college graduate, technically speaking. I'm just not a college graduate in the field I want to be a college graduate in.
I know that.
Yeah, so, in fact, I even got my degree sitting just a few clicks away from me on my kitchen table in an envelope right now. So, I mean, it's there, it's ready. I can frame it and be like, look, I got my general education done. And not to get too political about it, but that used to mean something. But now most, if not all, jobs are looking for a bachelor's or just for an entry level position. Like, that sucked. I mean, at the school district, you used to be able to show that you completed an associate's degree at a community college, and they would give you like an extra $1,000 to $2,000 a year in pay based upon the education that you got. And it could be a general education, it could be a film degree, it could be any kind of degree. It just had to be an associate's degree. Of course, if you got an associate's degree in teaching, there would be more of an incentive, and they would probably throw an extra like $1,000 on top of the $1,000 or $2,000 they were already going to give you for getting your degree. They took that program out and have at times been trying to figure out how to actually cut the pay of certain levels of employees. So there's a little insider kind of thing going on for anybody who is trying their darndest to be part of the education field right now, especially when it comes to classified field. A lot of districts are looking to cut costs and bring efficiency to the public sector, which in my mind makes no sense, because at least I see public education as more of a deficit, because you're paying a lot more to set people up to bring more effectiveness to the workplace later on down the line. Like, you need to be putting more money into it, so that way those who come out of the public education system can provide more to you in the long run at their daily jobs and the places that they want to go to further in their education or in their life in general. You know?
No, I don't.
Ooh. Just going out the gates, freaking running on this one, giving it all to the folks. Still got 2 minutes on this subject.
So you say you plan to be a teacher, right? You're teaching it?
Yeah, college teacher, actually.
College teacher. What do you think is something that you need to work on right now that you think might affect you when you get to that point?
Honestly, I definitely need to work on my note-taking. Like, I need to work on note-taking and research. Where, when it comes to being able to pick up ideas and run with them and have the right amount of, let's say, research and clarity to back those ideas and theories that I come up with every once in a while. It's just like, if I remember correctly, I had an English teacher who commented on one of my theories that I had about a story that he had us read. And he liked the idea, he liked the theory, he just wanted me to pull up more research. And from the way he described it, even like looking at what I wrote down. Oh, hey. He, they're hearing the countdown and freaking out.
I was gonna say, how often do you read, like, research and stuff like that?
Not that often. I come to realize that I actually need to read more scripts to get better ideas of how script writing goes. Like, what's a bad script, what's a good script, what's good blocking, what's good structure, how does dialogue flow best within certain genres. Research-wise, I need to keep track more of what's going on through some of the more prominent film and media publications like Variety,
Oops.
Empire Magazine, even genre-specific stuff like Bloody Disgusting or one magazine I just saw today was called Pulp, and it was based around Japanese film and theater culture out in Japan. So there's like stuff like that I need to read more. Huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say all that is very important. And have you found like a style too that you really like that you want to kind of start out imitating for a second, and then eventually, of course, going into your own?
Find my own, like, oh well, I have to admit, just recently I saw a movie called Climax, directed by a man by the name of Jasper Noah, N-O, I'm just gonna say Noah, Jasper Noah. And his particular style of filmmaking is pretty interesting. I've only seen 2 of his films so far, Climax being one of them, the other one called Enter the Void. And, like, I like the way he has his camera operator, or his cinematographer, they're saying, but his cinematographer flow through a lot of the scenes that he has depicted and written out, and his particular style I just like in general. He's a little bit more on the violent side with his storytelling. I think there was he's done I think 4 or 5 films, and the other ones that I know of off the top of my head are Irreversible and Love. Now, I've learned about Irreversible because of the storytelling aspect behind it being based around a relationship that goes a little astray and then follows the woman who then is shown being molested and
really quick.
Huh?
Are you being distracted by the game or not?
No, actually I'm not. I'm watching the game and I'm thinking about best how to articulate what I'm trying to say. So it seems like I'm pausing. It's me going in the back of my head and go, how do I say this so that way I don't sound weird and dumb, but I sound intelligent enough that I know what I'm talking about. Because
don't even worry about that. Because I must be honest, the pausing is kind of throwing me off because I'm trying to follow, but then you pause and I'm just like, okay, what is he saying?
Yeah. No. I'm thinking. When I pause, I'm thinking. That's my new way of that's my new speech pattern. That's recently when I'm talking about my interests is me trying to figure out what I'm going to say next. So that way it makes sense.
I see.
So
I just wanted to I'm trying to follow, but it's just every time you pause, I'm just like,
In a sense, I probably sound like a freaking stage actor because I'm sitting there and going, to be, and then I stop, and I go, or not to be, and you're like, anticipation, please. But just even talking about Irreversible or Reversible, I still can't quite remember the freaking name of the movie. The subject matter in it, or at least a depiction of what they were showing later on in the film, is just it's harsh. It was a big calling card, and why a lot of people are like, this movie's great, but if you have a hard time sitting through any form of violence towards women, you're going to be sickened by it. And that was a kind of the thing with Climax too. There was a lot of just it wasn't like graphic and gratuitous violence against a lot of different demographics, but there was a hint of these like terrible feelings that people always have in the back of their mind and head, or back of their mind, and the actors who are, I guess, actually improvising the whole movie were using the opportunity with their improvisational skills to kind of, I don't know, bring these subjects up. There's a movie based like in 1990, like 93 or 94, somewhere in there, just after like the hardcore AIDS pandemic started calming down, and gay culture was still kind of moving forward, but having a hard time having it like gathering its footing because people were still afraid of stuff that they didn't understand. So the actors were utilizing those kind of fears and prejudice and putting it into their improvised dialogue and depicting all that through their dancing and their acting and stuff. It was just, it's kind of easy to say that a Jasper Noe film will change you, like both emotionally, mentally, and physically, because he put people through the freaking ringer, man. He brings awkward camera angles, dialogue that's like borderline uncomfortable, but still, needs to be said, and the way the actors take what he writes down in his script and what they want to portray and just run with it. It's really interesting. So, needless to say, I like his stuff, and it would be a heavy influence on a lot of what I would do later on, if and when I decide to move forward more with my writing.
What do you mean, if you decide to move forward? Wouldn't that be something very important to do?
Yeah, it would be. But like, let's say if I do get hired for maybe, what the heck is going on there?
I have no idea. I don't like this level, to be honest.
This one's like one of the harder ones. I hate it. It's really hard to... There's a point where you get stuck, and if you're not in a certain area, it almost feels like you're not going to progress. You can get really lost in between a lot of the parts of the levels too. So,
yeah, I feel like there's not a lot to roll around. Oh, now I'm starting to get big stuff here. Oh yeah. My god, I can't move! Oh my god.
Now you're getting all the awkward parts.
I don't think I 4 minutes
left. Let's say if I get a production job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would probably focus on gaining my skills in production. But I still like to write, so the writing would come hand in hand when I have free time,
in the very beginning, we were talking about how meta skills are very important too. And you were saying everything connects to everything. I just feel like if you focus on writing right now and reading, it'll just help everything. And so I feel
right.
Instead of waiting until writing's important now, let me focus on that. It's like, no, you should be focusing on it now, so that everything else improves because of that. And you're already getting ahead of the curve there.
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. Yes. So, I probably need to figure out a money situation and get myself a better computer, or at least get my computer that I bought a couple of years ago fixed properly. That way I can move on and buy an actual decent screenwriting program. I think you are outside of the house now, so...
What was that?
You are outside of the house, so this is going to get nuts. That's right. You can feel it. I'm sure you can feel it just from the way...
I'm starting to just build up really quick now.
That's what happens with it. you're eventually going to hit a meter, and your dad's going to freak out. He's going to be like, "Oh my god!" Yep. Yeah, all those items you're having a hard time getting, they're yours now. All those cats. This is why this game gets so much fun.
What a nice Katamari. Yeah, with a soft feel. But now you come to show me this is a much bigger, nicer Katamari.
Yeah.
So, have you done any research on like books that you'd like to read that you think would help further increase your skill in your field?
I actually have several books. I haven't finished them yet, and I should continue reading them because they have helped them from time to time. Just remembering certain portions of chapters I've read. I picked up 2 books by I think his name's Sergei Eisenstein, and he was a silent film director who made the Battleship Potomac, and he wrote a lot of theory books about filmmaking. So I had purchased 2 of the more prominent books, and I was reading one of them a while back, and I just never got around to finishing it. But I liked a lot of his ideas on how framing can help improve just the way people see your film, and how editing can also help storytelling in a way that you don't have to necessarily use dialogue-heavy scenes. Which, of course, back in the day, he was a pretty silent filmmaker, so dialogue was not a thing. It was all just written word on a... Jesus Christ, I forgot how big you can get. Dialogue on a little plaquet within the film, depicting what people said during certain scenes. But you could probably edit a whole film without any dialogue in it and still make a decent movie that people can understand just from imagery versus actual dialogue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I always love these little in-between shorts because they're so funny in presentation that, like, the little girl is the one that always makes things more awkward than what's going on between the son and the mother. She'll pop up and say something just out of nowhere, and everybody, you sit there and you go, "What?"
Why does it say make cancer? Is that, do they mean the constellation?
Yeah, the constellations.
Okay.
Those are all constellations.
It's just out of context. It's like make cancer. It's like I don't know if I want to do that.
It's make Cancer, make Sagittarius, make Taurus.
What?
Again, the guy who created this game has no idea really how video games work, so he was making this game from the ground up.
Yeah, I do remember hearing that he didn't, like you said, he didn't really care for video games, and when they started trying to make his character all big and everything, he was really sad about that. He didn't want them to do that.
Konami is definitely money hungry.
Who?
As we all know. That was a jab at Konami.
Oh. This is Bandai Namco, though.
Huh? Oh yeah, that's right. They bought it from them, didn't? Wasn't it Konami?
No idea. I don't think so. I think it was always Bandai Namco. But I don't know.
Okay, that's crazy. I'm sorry.
No, either one of us is misinformed, or both of us are uninformed. That's for sure. Because we didn't.
Yeah.
But you are not.
You know what? It was Namco. It wasn't Bandai Namco. It was Namco at the time.
Ah, okay.
I remember they had got bought out. Somebody or the other way bought out the other one and started making video games.
That would make sense.
Yep. Now, if only they would make Katamari Damacy model kit, I would be all over that. I would buy a Katamari Damacy model kit. Like, I like my Gundam kits and all that, don't get me wrong, but they're highly missing out on a lucrative situation if they start making Katamari Damacy model kits.
You know, Josh, you always make me feel like I don't do enough.
Who, me?
Or like I'm not interested in enough stuff.
You're interested in what you're interested in, man.
I know, it's just that, like, I hear you talk about stuff, and I'm like, man, I don't know what the hell, like, I don't do a lot of weird, I mean, not weird stuff, I can, sorry.
You don't, you think you don't have enough hobbies. There's one thing I'll say, dude. Like, the amount of hobbies that I have and the things that I collect, it's cool and all, but at least you have big enough room to house a lot of the books that you read, the theory books and all that. My room's small, and I'm, like, venturing out into the living room with my collection, and that tends to bring a little bit of animosity between me and my mom. Because she's like, you collect too much. And I'm like, I collect a lot, but in hindsight, my collecting isn't as bad as a lot of people's collecting. Like, the people that I quote-unquote idolize as collectors, they have their own freaking house, like, separate houses to house their collection. Like, Peanut Butter Wolf, whose record collection, I think, actually weighs a ton, despite the name of the documentary for his label of Stone's Throw Records being Our Vinyl Age 10. He has a separate apartment out in LA next to the Stone's Throw offices, full of his collection. And if I remember correctly, I had seen him digging out in Pomona one time, late night, out at the Glass House Record Store. He was just going through and digging. I saw it, and I should have said hi, and I didn't. But it was cool to see that he does not stop. He is relentless on what he's looking for. You watch his What's in My Bag, they have to stop. Or maybe they just didn't edit it in, but they've spent, I want to say, at least 2 or 3 hours having him talk about what he was buying that day at Amoeba Records. And he had to be at least 10 little carry baskets full of vinyl, CDs, 7 inches, cassette tapes, 8 tracks, everything. He was going nuts. He just, like, whatever happened, he had the kind of money he could spend. I want to say almost 10 grand in what looked like 10 grand's worth of music just in that day. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So I know you have your own little show where you do, we've talked about this before, where you talk about collectors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I want to know what your feeling is on the idea of collections, and what do you think causes that, like, need to want to collect things? I mean, you see it everywhere, from like Pokemon cards to just recently Rick and Morty had an episode where Rick was obsessed with collecting the Go ferrets or something like that, and he goes crazy trying to collect them.
I think, at least for me, and nowadays, especially with the rise of digital becoming kind of the norm when it comes to media, having control of what you consider I mean great in the scope of film, music, and collectibles is what keeps a lot of collectors continuing to buy physical stuff. Like, there's a rise in a lot of big studios' abilities to get rid of like lesser known, undesirable films and music that may not particularly be acceptable nowadays, and or just not make a lot of money. Which I think a lot of it has more to do with the money aspect than it actually does with whatever may be a controversy behind the film or behind the album or whatever. But if something's not making money, why put it on your streaming service? You know what I mean? So when you're going out and trying to look for a particular film that you may have like some kind of nostalgia or remember seeing when you were a kid, this part. If you get a strike, yeah, come on. Wait, get the phone thing. That's right. Anyways, so yeah, just the ability to have something that you love, that you remember seeing as a kid physically, and be able to see it anytime you want, I think plays a lot into what collectors do.
So it's a matter of preserving memories.
Preserving memories, but for some, preserving history. A lot of people are actual friggin' historians. Like, Criterion Collection itself is kind of a historical film society that just so happens to release films. So when you see a lot of what they put out, which more recently have been kind of mainstreamy, but still, you know, hard to find. Like, just recently they released a lot of John Hughes films. Or not a lot of one John Hughes. But they're known for releasing more lesser known, harder to find art house films, and to see them releasing stuff like The Breakfast Club, and I think eventually they were going to release 16 Candles and Pretty in Pink. To see and to know that they're going out there and making sure that the physicality of those particular films are still available to people says a lot, you know. Like, we could have just enough streaming services providing the ability to watch those films, but why not also have a physical copy of that film with added extras that could give more perspective to the genre and the era in which that film came from, you know?
Well, it's just a matter of people who own those rights and stuff. They don't feel that way towards that thing. I can't go back.
Yeah. They don't feel that way towards it at all. It's kind of sad to see that a lot of executives, especially in film companies and production companies, don't have that kind of. They're looking at the pricing in order to continue printing those physical costs, and then the physical items, and also the fact that we're all running out of resources. There's gotta be a way where we can create more renewable like forms of physical media releases, I think. And we gotta kind of also really take charge of the secondhand sales market, because it gets outrageous. It's just a lot of people make it harder for folks who are actually trying to find these films and watch these films to enjoy themselves in the collecting world. You know, people will pay the prices sometimes, but
okay. So
I went on. Sorry.
No, I want to go back to what I was saying was that, like, okay, so you say that the reason some people collect things is a matter of preserving history or preserving memories.
Yeah, that's one part of it.
I feel like some people just do it just to kind of have a feeling of completeness, right? Or they have everything.
Yeah, that too. The kind of compulsion that comes with feeling like you've accomplished something. Like you were saying with the Rick and Morty episode, there is a level of compulsion that comes with collecting too.
Yeah.
Like, if you have a full series of like a certain set of trading cards or comic books or like a release of a director's film, you know, you feel completed. And that does definitely play a lot into the world of collecting. Like, for me, just recently, I completed 2 directors who had a certain amount of their movies on the Criterion Club. And those directors were David Lynch and Robert Altman. Now, before I actually even completed my Robert Altman set of Criterion films, there was a fear of one of the prices of one of the movies in the collection going up because Paramount had pulled the rights to physical releases of said film by other entities other than themselves, because they were just going to put on their streaming service and they would never have to worry about the printing costs again. Mm-hmm. So when I went to make sure I got that, I felt like I was completed before I even had the full like set of Robert Altman films that were released by Criterion. Because that one film would have been hard to get a hold of. That film happens to have been a movie called Nashville. And I'm not sure if they're ever going to work out a deal where they can start reprinting it or anything, but as of now, it's out of print by Criterion, and the only way you can get it is through secondhand resale. So, like I said, when I bought Nashville before I had all his other films that were released by Criterion, by the Criterion Collection, I was like, it's good to know I have this movie because all the other ones are readily available, and I will never have to worry about being incomplete. So that compulsion there to have a complete set of Criterion Collection Robert Altman films was satisfied, because I knew if I didn't buy Nashville, I was going to pay more for it later on down the line, and it was going to piss me off. Oh,
interesting.
Yeah. But the whole idea of completion, I think, feeds into the whole, being human, where sometimes we just feel incomplete, and if we can have something that is remotely complete, we ourselves feel complete and comfortable in our bodies and minds.
But I feel like we're rationalizing, right? Because when you really think about it, what is the point of it?
The point of collecting.
What is it like furthering? What is it really making you accomplish? Because in a sense, it's kind of like when you play a video game, right? And they have achievements. It's like, cool, you got every single achievement. Okay, what does that mean? Well, it just means I played the hell out of this game. It means I did everything in this game. Okay, what does that mean?
Okay.
I just wanted
if you want to go that far, I think it has a lot to do with just joy. It makes you happy. It's the form, like the proverbial form of searching for happiness.
Okay. Let's argue that then. You're looking for happiness, but wouldn't it be better to look for something that gives you happiness and that also progresses you forward as in your life? You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because in a sense, you could say it's more of an addiction then at that point, because you're going towards something that is gonna give you happiness just for happiness' sake. There's no other ulterior motive. It's just for, just the means of becoming happy. And again, like happiness, what is happiness? It's just like a moment of feeling good. Cause like what? Okay, you say you do get all that collection complete and everything. You're like, I'm so happy. And then, the next day you're like, all right, what do I need to do now?
Yeah. No, I get you. You know that when you get down to that point, you really start thinking super hard about it. I feel like you missed the point of what collecting is in general, and it's just to it's like all things involving like a perspective. It's something that you do for yourself that makes you happy. It's not necessary. It doesn't have to be progressive in the sense that it pushes you forward better in your life. Because maybe for some people, they already are at a point where they're content and happy, and the collection is just the other part of them being, satisfied with something else outside of their already established satisfaction.
See,
Whether or not it's job satisfaction, um, emotional satisfaction, mental satisfaction, whatever. Like, you know, it's it is something that keeps you happy continuously outside of stuff that you're already happy with.
does it though?
For some, yeah. I don't want to say like for everybody, but for some, I believe it does. I've met people who get complete and utter satisfaction from being collectors, and I've met people who have made it this huge monster of I still do it because it's an addiction, but I like doing it. There's an inherent happy, sad kind of back and forth between their collecting. Now, will I say for a while there I was in that realm of happy, sad? Yeah, but there was a point where I stopped listening to other people and started enjoying my collection for what I was enjoying it for, and it's to have a physical library of films that I think are culturally and historically significant, and I would like to watch over and over and over again when I got time. And that's what I've been doing. I've been going and I've been watching my movies when I have my time, and I'm not working on progressing myself further in my studies or in my love life or in my financial aspects. I collect to have movies that I like. So I had to look past all of that, like that whole outreaching feelings of, oh, am I really satisfied with what I'm doing with myself? It's like it takes away from what you yourself had originally gone into collecting for or purchasing movies for, which is to make yourself happy. You still have to, in a sense, make sure that you are able to take care of yourself and you're able to move forward with whatever you're working on as a means to, gain financial stability or to live on your own or to further your education or whatever. But, as for me, I got over listening to people who see collections as sometimes useless, and then I started progressing further. It's weird to say, through collecting and through just ignoring people, I've been able to progress perfectly fine with my education and my job and everything that I've been working towards or been trying to work towards for years. Like I'm a part of the union now. I've got like 2 or 3 jobs, technically speaking. One doing something I love involving film, and one doing something that I am very passionate about when it comes to politics and the progress of human rights. Just job protection and frickin' God. I feel like I got lost here, but basically what I'm trying to say is you got it for a lot of people when it comes to collecting. Just ignore everybody, do what you love to do, and make sure that you are still able to take care of yourself. That's all. That's all I can even say about it. Like, it's not a matter of, the proverbial what makes you click, what makes you happy, does this stunt your growth? If you do it right, it shouldn't stunt your growth. It should further your progress with your life, and it should make you.
And that's
stay.
why I'm asking, like, what makes it right and what makes it wrong? When is it right or wrong? How do people know when it's right and when it's wrong? And how do they convince themselves that?
Like with any kind of addiction, which is what I actually talked about a while back with therapist. If there's a compulsion that takes away from you progressing emotionally, mentally, and physically in life, then it becomes a problem. But if you are able to do this without it being a compulsion, like you don't feel the need to sit there and go out and do this every freaking hour upon the hour, then you're fine. Now, the compulsion I think we're trying to get at here is it hasn't even been fully researched in a way that they depicted it as an actual mental illness, but it's called like shopaholic or shopaholicism or whatever. And it's recently kind of a new idea, especially for the addiction realm. Because a lot of people and even a lot of doctors or a lot of therapists and psychologists think that it's something you can actually control. Do I feel like at times I've actually had kind of a problem with shopping? Yeah. Do I feel like I've been a shopaholic at times? Totally. But I've been able to kind of move myself away and progress and become better at controlling my spending habits that a lot of people have. So it's hard to try to put, like, when is it bad, when is it good, kind of spin on it, because it's still something that a lot of people haven't had a lot of time to actually sit down and put a hardcore study to, because the research behind it is inconsistent. You know what I mean?
Kind of.
And that's why. That's where I think collecting in itself has become kind of a wishy-washy subject to talk about, especially when it's either in a negative light or a positive light, because the inconsistencies come with more than just like people spending vast amounts of money on things and having possession of them.
Well, it's a matter of why do humans like to
buy physical things?
I don't know, categorize things. Because at the end of the day, what is collecting? It's your you notice a category and you want to see how many things can fit that category.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that just fall into the realm of humans tend to focus more on patterns, and that's like the way the mind works? It's like it's easier for humans to kind of focus on something that has a pattern to it because they think it's easier to understand.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the best way to describe collecting. It comes at the cost of like pattern kind of mindset. It's something that is easy to understand and to acknowledge, and it just feeds into a comfort zone that is normal of humans. Like what I've noticed a lot of, especially when it comes to people talking to collectors and non-collectors, like the non-collectors still end up actually being collectors themselves because they collect things that they like. But because, like, say, we can go into people who collect anime memorabilia, or people who collect DVDs or music, like, because it's not necessarily something the person who is more or less kind of, I don't want to say judging, but being concerned over the habits of the collector, it's something that they're not interested in, it becomes, like the bane of the non-collector's existence. But then you go and you talk to that person, and you start to talk to them about, their interests and their hobbies, and they'll be like, well, I got, like, these things, and then you realize that they collect themselves, and it's like, well, we all do it. It's just some of us do it more than others. Some people will have small collections of certain particular, like, say, something nostalgic from their childhood. And I'll go for an example as, like, Pirates of the Caribbean. Somebody will collect memorabilia based around Pirates of the Caribbean, but they'll be so specific with it that to them it doesn't, it doesn't feel like it's being a burden because they have such a small collection. They're still collecting, they still get the same kind of feeling and impulse that somebody who's collected over 1,000 DVDs would with their movie collection, but again, because it's smaller, they're like, oh, I don't have a problem. Quote unquote. So it just, like I said before, it seems like it just comes down to frickin' perspective.
Yeah.
Like, people will sit there and say collecting's bad and it leads to impulsive tendencies and stuff, but then, again, those people will have collections themselves of things that the other person doesn't, that they see as having bad habits, doesn't have, stupid stuff, doesn't have, control of their collection.
Yeah.
So,
see, like, and again, I'm not, well, not again, this is my first time saying that. I'm not saying, like, asking these questions in order to, like, tell you that collecting is wrong. I just really want to see, what exactly it is that get people to collect. Because honestly, I've read a lot of books on human behavior, and at the end of every book, they often say, "Yeah, we don't know. We have a lot of theories, but we don't really know why people do the things they do." In a sense.
Yeah, honestly, the most intense animal on the planet that needs a lot of fucking study. Excuse my language. I know you're covered by affiliate, but still. Like, the human being is the only animal on the planet that people still, like, we don't know about ourselves well enough. Yeah. We don't tap into the full potential of our freaking brain, for one. So there's a lot of untapped potential in there. And we don't know a lot of our own compulsions. So we deal with them every day. We are still wholeheartedly trying to figure out what makes us tick. Why some people can straight up die from smoking cigarettes their entire life, and then on the other hand, somebody can live forever drinking whiskey their entire life. Like crap like that.
Yeah.
It just we're so individually based.
Well, this is just so many variables. That's why.
Yeah, exactly.
But okay, with something like that though, we still know that drinking whiskey and like a lot of whiskey and smoking a lot still hurts your body. We have scientific evidence for that.
Yeah. From trial and error and a big, large, from just the vast amount of people being alive on the planet, yes, we do know that for sure. There are the small little ticks here and there that go off the grid and somehow are able to survive the kind of punishment that alcohol and smoke gives to the human body. But still, you're right. We do know that.
I wouldn't say that they resist it. It's just that they last a little bit longer.
Yeah, they last a little bit longer. Maybe their system's just a little bit stronger.
Yeah. Well, because I would say a lot of the times those people that don't last as long, maybe they're doing more things to hurt their body that the other person wasn't. And that's another thing we gotta consider.
Yeah. Like you could be a smoker, but have a vegan lifestyle and live longer, than versus a person who's going to McDonald's every day, smoking a pack of cigarettes every week, and then drinking a half a bottle of whiskey every other night. You know. So with that, that's like that's about a bottle and a half each week if you do it right. So.
I do find it interesting that we're talking about collections and stuff like that. Well, I collect a bunch of stuff.
You collect what?
I said I find it interesting that we're talking about collections while I collect a bunch of stuff in this game.
Yeah, actually, this is a good game to play talking about this. Because you are inherently being an obsessive compulsive collector in order to create star constellations. So, yeah. But yeah, everybody I've talked to about collecting, they actually have a lot more control than I do. And their financial situations are a lot better off too, because they were able to establish themselves in positions of or in jobs that actually have consistent work, or they have used their collecting to their advantage by selling off things that they no longer want in their collection. Something I have a hard time with. I got like 2 boxes full of things I want to sell off, and I haven't put them up on the car yet because it takes time and effort to actually sit down, sell off these items, and write the descriptions needed to convince people to buy these items. So I applaud a lot of the people who have made their hobbies a financial gain, because they're able to have that mindset of, I like to collect things, but I still also like to be financially stable while doing it. So they end up making sometimes more money selling the stuff that they don't want anymore than they do actually spending the kind of money they would collecting these. Like, I got buddies who will sit there and buy $25 worth of like baseball cards and action figures and anime memorabilia and movie stuff, and they'll come out with like boxes of these things, boxes of everything, and they'll keep maybe 1 or 2 items and then end up flipping the rest for 3 or 4 times of what they spent on it, you know? They know what they're doing. They know how to get what they want and then make more money to get more of what they want. So that's an interesting part of collecting. The secondhand sellers, flippers and stuff like that. Those guys are really good at what they do. And I know some can be a little like, I'm only in it for the money. But then when you come across people who are actually like wholehearted collectors who just so happen to be really good at reselling items, those are the kind of guys I don't like to necessarily be hardcore resellers who straight up take away opportunities for collectors to be able to find the things that they want to find out in thrift stores and stuff, and go and sell those items for 3 or 4 times the price than what they usually are on even eBay. Kind of stuff.
Talking about scalpers and stuff.
Scalpers, yeah. Like there's this particular group of thrift stores that go to, or who were going to Deseret Industry over here off Valley.
Yeah.
And I remember them sitting there and picking up everything that was worth I don't know, maybe $1 or $2 more than what Deseret was selling. And I went to their store one time, and I had found a record that was selling at Deseret for $1. They straight up, in whatever original condition it was, scratches and all, was selling it for like $15 to $20 at their store. Or like $15 at their store. And I was like, that's kind of, you know?
That kind of what?
That's kind of messed up.
Why?
To me, it just like, it takes away the chance for somebody who really wanted it to enjoy it. In my eyes. That's just a person.
Uh-huh.
It's fine. It's okay. But a lot of the time, the whole world of scalping is based on speculation that this is going to be worth the price that a lot of people are selling it for on eBay. So they could be sitting on products for months on end, hoping that somebody will buy it for the $15 price tag they put on it, even though they spent $1 on it. You know?
Yeah.
So it's just a lot of weight to me that could be better managed if they had just, picked up on something that they knew was going to sell faster than something that would have been a speculative buy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I feel about scalping. Like, if you're going to go buy up a bunch of
okay, well, okay.
Yeah.
Then what about the people who buy stuff and eventually sell it? Isn't that kind of the same thing where they're just delaying it eventually?
Yeah, I guess yeah. But at the same time, I've come across those particular people tend to sell, at least the people I've met that done that, will sell closer to what they purchased it for than, like, higher prices. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But that, I mean, again, we're going from anecdotal evidence there. So
yeah,
at the end of
it's
the
all
day,
anecdotal. This is all based on experience. I am not. That's why I always pause. I'm trying not to come off as an expert of what I'm talking about. I'm basing it all on what I have experienced.
Yeah.
And at least in the groups that I've been a part of, those people tend to be a little bit more generous in their selling of items in order to spread the joy that they had with whatever they had purchased.
Yeah.
I've had friends sell me in the groups that I'm a part of items that could have been worth, $50 to $60, half price. Because it's just like I'm not looking to make a lot of money on it, man. And that's what they do. That's how they kind of word it. It's like they're there to want to spread the joy. They're going to make some money, but not enough to, to actually build them a profit.
I see.
Yeah. You might get this done faster, man. You're doing this pretty quick.
I thought I was going slow.
No. You're hitting close to the 2-hour mark I was talking about. Because you haven't had to restart a level. A lot of the time, some people have hard times getting those meters, man. Those big old. You have yet to come across the situation where you have to go back and try again.
Well, just an expert collector.
Be happy. I'm praising you at this. Your ability to make Katamari Damacy your female dog here is really good. So,
I'm just trying to also enjoy the conversation we're having here.
Yeah, man. The collecting is a really in-depth conversation. I don't know why a lot of people don't talk about it. And I know at times a lot of people tend to also feel ashamed of certain collections they have. It's like, who cares?
Yeah,
everybody.
I just want to say that, like, I enjoy collecting too. Like, heck, I have so many video games because, and like most of them I don't play them. But it's not because like, oh, you know, I mean, again, it's not like I'm keeping them from anybody. They're all digital games, so like. Yeah.
And that's a different thing altogether, right there. Digital video game collecting, like, technically speaking, and the great thing about a lot of developers letting you not have like making sure you don't have the DRM kind of stuff on it. Makes digital collecting of video games a lot easier. I know Steam's a little bit more on the like right of the developer versus the right of the owner at times, but like going and collecting stuff off a humble indie bundle. You got the angry guy just like like humble indie bundle does technically give you the ability to be able to share the games with your friends. Yeah. And if they want to eventually go and purchase other games from those developers or even the game that they just played, so they have a copy themselves, you know, that's cool. So, and on top of that, being able to buy digital products at a cheaper price versus the physical, I think that should be the selling point a lot of the time. Like, you shouldn't have to pay more, if not equal, the price of a physical product in order to obtain the digital. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna lie, like spending $60 on a digital download of WWE, like WWE 2K whatever, and to only go and pay the exact same price for a physical copy, it's like, what's the point of it? Digital's easier to maintain, and it is really outside of the development. You know, it's not that hard to, at least in some situations, create enough content and enough later content to make the game worthwhile for whatever price you're going to put it on. Like, the whole economics of digital anything right now, to me, is insane. Especially when you do a lot of the sports games, which end up being like a pay-to-play situation. You know, you get a very small amount of content for a high price, and in order to obtain basically the full game, you have to pay twice enough, 3 times as much, in order to obtain the full aspect of what you want to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I am getting exhausted by this. I'm like going, whoo. It's like a lot of the NBA and NFL and wrestling games that do that are just unfair. Though I will give praise to games like when they were around and doing pretty well, Telltale Games, or even Nintendo's kind of setup for the expansion of content, or even I'll say like certain companies like, I'll talk about Activision right now because they really mess me hard. I'll say Square Enix, because every time that they start re-releasing, remastering certain games, they end up putting the price tags of those games at a decent enough level where people who have never played it before are still willing to pay, close to $40 for a full-length game, and others are able to get more content out of it if they have already played it. You're stuck. You got this. I believe in you.
Come on, go. Damn it. I'm trying to like see if I can zoom in on top because I feel like there's nothing else I can grab over there, and I want to get up here. Move. Whatever.
Let's try getting down there. There you go.
Yeah, I'm trying.
You got it.
Oh
What else do you want to rack my brain around?
my god.
We've gone AWOL on collecting, man. I'm just like, oof. That was a
I
deep
feel like
conversation.
This might be the level I lose because there's like barely anything to collect out here.
Oh no, there is. You just gotta collect it. You got this. See, when they run off scared like that, you can knock them over and catch them. So keep that in mind. You see people running away from you, knock them and catch them.
Try it. I'm stuck. And he hits me.
Now, I'll be honest, this is the level that a lot of people get stuck.
What the hell is this guy? Come on.
Oh, there you go.
There we
There you go.
Ah,
Oh,
finally.
and now we're at that point. Let it all go downhill from here. Ooh, Lord, when and how this is gonna go nuts. Just yep.
Oh no! Damn it.
You got it. Don't worry.
I'm gonna turn around. Some old dude.
Right? What's the meter you're supposed to get on this?
6 meters? I'm super far away from it.
Right there we go. Keep going down there and picking up whatever you can.
Woo. Oh! Okay, wait. I'm stuck. I'm legit stuck.
There you
Oh
go.
my god, because that guy is like making it really awkward.
3 meters, halfway there.
Oh my god. You're kidding me right now. I got all my stuff.
You gotta go back up to the school.
Oh my god, dude.
Unfortunately, this is the one a lot of people have a hard time with.
Tell. Everything, there's so many things that knock you around.
I would say, go back there and build up a bit.
pues. Pues.
Yeah, now I'm all like watching you. I'm like, ooh, this is getting intense. And I like this level a lot, but I also hate it. I hate it with a passion.
Pues. Okay, I'm a little bigger now. See if I can handle these things.
Yeah, it's picking up the whole world now.
Everything.
Boom.
Everything.
Right? This is where it gets nuts, man.
There we go. Made it.
Yeah.
Woo!
And now all you gotta do is just
All I gotta do is take over the world.
Yeah.
The police are shooting at me.
Yeah, yeah. The police get all upset with you. You're like,
I can't even get through here. You stop that! Oh damn it. God, this is okay. Oh, whatever, at least I still got it. God, I can't even control this.
meters. Ooh, nearly.
At least I beat
There
it.
you go. Yeah, you done. That's again, that level such a pain in the butt. I hate it.
Oh! That drained me.
Ooh, man.
Ooh, excuse me.
I will say we gotta make up with lost time. If there's free days coming up. Ooh, hey, new people. Ah! We should do Undertale if you haven't done it yet.
We should! We get a chance. Damn, thank you for the bits, Pepper. Always appreciate the 1 bits.
Bits?
Bits?
You'll make cancer finally?
No. I'm trying to just do the Make a Star ones.
Oh, you're gonna do all the Make a Stars first?
What?
Yeah.
I find it funny that he's telling us like about all these different parts of the world, but then every single level just looks like Japan.
Yeah. He's like, he talks about the world as if you're traveling it, and all you're doing is just going to Japan.
Oh god, we're surrounded by rats!
Yeah, run. Quick. I like how he looks around too. He's like, what's going on? Oh yeah, they chase after you. This has got to be one of the I Heart Katamari levels, because I don't remember this one. Oh. Alright. So, how have you been, Michael? I haven't talked to you for almost a month. It's terrible.
I've been alright. Just trying to get a lot of stuff together. Finally have a goal for my book I'm working on.
Nice.
Finally have the plan, which is going to be for... I'm going to have 15 passages in each section, and each section is going to be about a different part of the body. So kind of like going that yoga style, which is mind, body, heart, and soul. And then I'm going to have 15 sections in those, and each section is going to be around 400 to 600 words each. And I'm going to try to find a quote related to each section. And yeah, I'm just going to hopefully have enough stuff to publish a book.
Nice. That's been another goal of mine too, is to publish like a music book. Mostly based on 1 or 2 albums. Like, have you heard of a 33 1/3 book series? So they get people to do research, gather information, and then publish a book based on a particular album. And I've been off and on thinking about doing one of those books on several of my favorite albums. I just haven't given myself time to sit down and research the information I need to gather for said book, if I want to do this.
Yeah. Yeah, you just ran right in.
Yeah. Well, because they see all the food. That's duh. That's how you track the rats in this one. You gather food. It's all food based.
Oy. That's good, man. So you just gotta do some research on that?
Yeah, research, see if I can gather some interview. Go from there. Thus, again, you know, sitting there and learning how to network at my job, or my internship, I should say, will help with that. So, it's always nice to know that no matter what you do with your life, you can always end up doing something that you really want to do from just what you're doing right now. That makes sense, I think. Now I'm just zoning in on the game. This dog, even when you're watching it and not playing it, it's very tranquil. Like, you get really relaxed just watching this person push this ball around hours on end, gathering the most ridiculous things. Like aloe vera, drinks. Get out of here, cats. You wanna know why they're attacking you? Because of the rats.
Oh, rats, right.
The rats are out there.
And they caught all the rats.
Oh, there you go. Down there. And when you go back, now they're going to be all like, oh my god, I don't know. You've been nonchalantly picking up the cuts too, I've noticed.
The what?
So you went to that planet that had all the other like characters that look kind of like the character you're playing.
Oh. Uh-huh.
You can pick up more of those guys and you can play as those characters.
Yeah. I noticed I got a bunch of those. I just didn't really care.
Yeah. Like each level has like one or two of them. Sometimes even three, I think.
Why, little boy? Why? Leave me alone.
You're a soccer ball. Kick. Buckets! There we go. There's your police officer. Oh, you found the underwear thief. Ah!
Yeah.
I know, the music gets you after a while, too.
It's good music. Wow!
Like, every time I get a new phone or something, I always like to try to download that soundtrack. It's really all-encompassing, man. Like, they released it on record, too, and I want to get a hold of it one day. Who was it? The One Ups, which is like a orchestral jazz video game cover band, did a really good cover of one or two of the tunes from Katamari Damacy. Though they all end up, like a lot of the covers they do are great anyways. Like their Katamari Damacy covers are made. We did a what else? We did a sleigh ride cover of Super Mario World. Soundtrack to that. So it's like a bunch of Christmas music and then spliced in Super Mario World tracks.
Oh, I gotta look that up. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. The one-up, man. Really good stuff. I think I got 2 of their albums. Ooh, Bliss. You got
I got
to the left, to the right.
I got 11
Oh, you
minutes.
got You get 12 meters?
Yeah, I'm barely at 1 meter.
You got this. You got it.
Alright, now
Don't even sweat.
I gotta go to that fence. You don't even care what the king has to say anymore. Skip it.
No, yeah, you... Like, the first playthrough, you're like, I want to see what he's got to say. And then the next playthrough, you're just like, no. I don't care what you got to say, all this is gibberish, you're a jerk. Yeah, I'm your son. Why are you making me clean up your mess, you piece of trash? And he's a terrible freaking father. Like, there's no doubt anybody who plays this game and has dad issues will, like, look at this character, like, the dad character from this and be all like, I know you. I know exactly who you are. Like, that's how they relate to Katamari Damacy. It's just a really bad dad. Everybody's getting beat up tonight. Gonna be in a big ball of fire. Flaming fire. Afro Joe. Everybody's gonna be... I don't know. That was a bad song.
We're not allowed back up here?
Could be.
Nope.
Nope,
Okay.
They told you no. You're down. You are down.
Oh, alright.
Cops are after you again.
Yep.
I think when they shoot at you, it actually adds millimeters to you.
What?
No, it doesn't add millimeters. I thought it did for some reason. That would have been funny, though. Every bullet they shoot adds like a millimeter. Oh no, here comes the madness.
The guy's just on the floor. Oh,
Yeah.
crap. I'm stuck. What? Oh, this guy's too big.
Not yet. Yeah, he has the big fan, so he's too big.
Let's go. Shit.
Here we go. Ah! Nope. Always when you get thrown to another area, just randomly.
So,
Oh, back to the gas station. Are you starting to pick up cars finally?
yeah. Oh, I'm picking up the fences, so I'm sure I'm gonna get to this.
There. That's the alligator now. You can pick up the 2 Afro guys.
These guys are still too big.
Yeah, I was gonna say those guys. They're a pain in the butt after a while, though. Ooby-dooby. They got people at the baseball field waiting.
Oh my god. Oh. Oh, nope, that was terrible. Sumo man, you're running right towards me. Oh my god, I'm stuck.
Jeez. I actually think there's a song that they covered too, by the way. Oh man. Oh, you can go over there now. There you go. Yeah, buddy.
All those police officers over there, really? How small?
Yeah. Got a little platform of Ah! He just picked up a bunch of Boy Scouts. There we go. Now we get in there. Yeah, buddy. Nope.
Too big now.
You got this. I keep saying that like you're a motivational speaker. You got this. Don't do it. You will accomplish things. Like reaching 12 meters of random stuff. Within 5 minutes. Oh my goodness. Oh, I got it. There it is. Now you're picking up the houses. Oh, dear Lord. Here we go. You still got 4 minutes. Oh.
The cars are just piled in.
Pick up that llama.
I think it's too big.
Still not big enough to pick up that restaurant. You got that car. We'll get these houses right here.
And the elephant. Ah!
Yeah. Now you can get the camp houses.
Not yet.
I think. Not yet. Boo. Still not big enough for that windmill.
This whole neighborhood I started in.
Jeez.
There we go.
You're going away for the good of the star system, man. We'll be turned into stardust. They'll cover up the problems of the team. Oh man, I miss this game. I need to play it. I have it, and I need to play it. You know, yeah, you got the scout house behind you. And you got the windmills. Yeah, buddy. Here we go. Still got 2 minutes.
I got a Loch Ness monster.
Huh? Alright, let's see if you can hit that 25-meter mark. Oh wow, he's wiggling. He's wiggling pretty fierce. Oh, you can pick up angels too. I forgot about that. Oh man. Still hate that sound. No matter how many times I play that game, you hear that and yep.
Move to tuners by the sizes and it's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have to turn into a star right now. I think you collected most of this. Iris released plants. Oh! Chlorophyll.
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 宇宙ロケットって思ったより大きくて素敵ですね。
僕も宇宙飛行士になりたくなっちゃった。
ほほほ。
What do you got planned for this month? What's the theme again?
It's
For
awesome
August.
August, so since it's the month of my birthday, I like to play games that I think are really fun to play.
Uh-huh. So, one game from your whole collection that you can play over and over and over again. Never be bored of.
That's an interesting question.
Uh-huh.
I guess Dead by Daylight, I don't never get bored of it. I can keep playing it and playing it. Oh,
Alright. That's a good one to like.
oh.
I've still yet to play it, and I should. It's a PS4 exclusive, right?
No, it's all consoles.
Oh, it's all consoles now?
Yeah. It's always been all consoles. It started out on PC, though.
Makes sense. Is it cross-platform too, or no?
Yep.
Well, I'll be gosh darn.
Oh! Look at that
Yep.
Oh my god, this fence, please.
There you
I
go.
don't like this song.
Now, I'm gonna say, there's some songs that come out of nowhere, and you're just like, nope.
Ooh. I gotta get the soundtrack.
Yeah, man, it's worth its weight in gold. It is not a bad soundtrack. There are enough genres that mix around on it that make it worth having around when you want to relax. Have you played Wooby Boy or whatever? The other one that he did?
No.
That's another one we should do. I heard that one was just as fun. And it's kind of the same concept with progressive building, but you eat things and get longer versus
Rolling things and getting bigger.
bigger, yeah.
I just realized what level we're in. That's another thing too. A lot of these levels are just repeat model, like stages. It's just the items all moving around in different places. But it's not a problem. Yeah. It's just that I noticed.
No, yeah, you end up just going into certain No, that was Queen Elizabeth.
Wait, who?
That was the queen in the forest right there. The British queen or whatever.
Although there's a bunch of agents.
Yeah, there's a bunch of agents and the queens in there. Oh no, people are running away. Oh no, they're chasing after you.
Hey, it's a joke. What's up, joke? Oh, I missed all of this.
Yeah, don't worry about it. They'll be there for you later on.
No, I get them now.
This is exploding.
Oh, damn.
You gotta get 30 meters? Oh my goodness. Oh, that's not gonna be fun. You got 20 minutes for the sucker.
We'll do it. I
I
believe.
believe in miracles. I have a feeling like each stream kind of does this. There's a real intense talk at the beginning, and then it's just real quiet watching and contemplation afterwards. So like anybody coming in later on is gonna have to watch the replay to get the big feel of the episode. I'm just gonna call them. This is basically become an episodic TV series for anybody who watches it. I feel like most Twitch streams are like that anyways.
Yeah.
Like you just end up.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. No. I was just gonna say, just like anytime I've watched a Twitch stream, there tends to be like an element of sitcom kind of stuff going on later on, because each episode, like each stream, still has its own unique taste to it, but there's callbacks to other things that have happened throughout the Twitch stream. So if you're kind of new to it, you're just starting to watch somebody stream, there might be inside jokes amongst the viewers and the Twitch streamer that you won't pick up on unless you watch like a couple of streams.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of like people making callbacks and the frickin' like the specific emojis and stuff that are used.
Yeah.
For each Twitch streamer. So, it's like everybody's got their own unique TV show going on right now.
Yeah.
The level of content that's being put out at this point in time is so vast and so almost specific for a lot of people's taste that it's hard not to find something you don't like on the internet. Everything's so tailor-made. Which brings me to something I actually want to bring up. I do and don't like it when people talk about the vast saturation of content out there in the world. Like, there's a lot of people are doing a lot of things, and it's harder to find good stuff. It's like, I would say yes and no. Like, if you know what you're looking for, you'll find what's good to you. You know?
Yeah.
It's not hard to find good stuff out there, good content to watch. Is there a lot of options to it now? Totally. So, you know, you could find one thing that, you know, scratches itch for you for a little while, but then somewhere down the line there is probably going to be something more, if not beyond what you're looking for, and will hit all the checkboxes.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time, a matter of effort made by the people who put out the content to have it out there for you to watch, pay attention to. So, that being said, everybody should explore more. Get out there, do something, find more things to like. Limiting yourself is good, but at the same time, expanding yourself is also good, and if not better at that. It makes you more well-rounded.
Yeah. I'm really trying to.
You're
catch up
focusing,
here.
I can tell. There's a whale shark. Can't catch yet. Back in town, pop's not around. Won't get shot at the mini mart. Ooh, you got them sumos. When you catch them all in one shot, you have that big old roar of children in your bowl of death. Goes that beach. Oh, every time, once it gets going, it gets going. And there's nothing you can do about it. Oh. So you can almost go out there. Close. You know where we are, Dad. Don't need to be telling us about our progress. You got this.
Ten minutes.
My dogs keep thinking my mom's home, so they keep jumping up like, Mommy? Mommy, are you there? Like, no, not there, guys. Stop. Chill. I know you dogs, but you need to chill.
I was gonna ride on the bridge and I'm gonna take the whole thing.
Right?
Okay, how can I get this bridge and I can't get these trees? Hello?
Right? ridiculous how this game works sometimes.
How big do I have to be to get trees?
Find out.
Oh my god, I'm just breaking one.
Oh, hey, there's more progress right there.
Yep, I'm trying to get up though. Ooh.
Huh? You're crossing over into new continent. There we go. Like sometimes I feel like their whole idea of what centimeters is in comparison to what you pick up
Yeah,
at
right.
it's kind of ridiculous.
Oh my god. Okay, alright.
There we go.
Okay, still can't grab trees, got it.
You can grab boat containers.
I can get these trees.
Yep, now, yeah. Jesus. 6 minutes. Oh. Oh. Yeah, I got so engulfed I didn't notice what time it was.
No, we're already over time.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna finish this. I want to see where you go. Yep, you get the hot air balloons. Oh no!
Except for that one. Except for that one.
So close! Just picked up the giant squid. Several giant squids. Calamari.
It's just a weed. Oh.
Yeah. He just picked up the whole town you were working on earlier. Oh my goodness. You know, there's a point where you actually start picking up planets, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah. It gets that bad.
Jesus.
Like, you're sitting here going after a whole continent, or at least a whole island full of, like, people, and all of a sudden you get to spend a whole, I think it's like 30 minutes, where you can pick up the whole solar system.
Jesus.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Wow, okay. I'm stuck. I'm just losing everything. Three minutes.
And counting at 36 meters. Yeah, it's an Ultraman or whatever. Weird Ultraman looking character. And somehow the giant squids can jump out of the sea now, I guess. Oh. At least nowadays talking about the obscure, like the obscureness of these games and how weird they are makes no sense compared to what we're playing now. Like we all thought Final Fantasy VII was weird, and then Katamari Damacy came out. And what that means? Oh, you gotta be careful because you got a giant brick protecting it.
I cannot stop, okay? Oh, come on. What am I even hitting? Oh my god.
Yeah, it gets weird.
Very strange. Okay, I can't find that.
Yeah, the 30 seconds blare in your ear and make your eardrums bleed noise. Love that.
All the screaming.
Right? The most you're gonna have in there is humans.
Oh god. I'm exhausted.
Feel the weight of the world on you through this game.
Yep. Oh, shut up.
Easy on the.
あ、向こうから走ってくるのお父さんじゃない？
Oh, it's their dad
お
that's
父さん。
astronaut.
中止今日の打ち上げは中止
あらあら、せっかくあなたの打ち上げを見に来たのに。
だって月がなくなったのですよ
あらまあ、本当に月がないわ。
見せて。
Yeah, like he took them into the observatory and everything. All right.
Still more?
Yeah. I'm going to bounce off on this one, sir. I got.
I'm gonna go too. Might.
Want to
tomorrow,
come back
we'll
and
see.
try this? Yeah.
When do you want to come back again?
I don't think I'm doing anything tomorrow too.
All right.
We
yeah,
can
do
try
that.
around the same time. Yeah. Continue this.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right,
On
y'all.
that note,
Thanks for watching. I promise not to be invisible tomorrow too. My body, floating head. Thank you, Josh. Do you have anything to say before you go?
Nothing. You know, just be good to each other. Do each other solids when you can, and you know, be kind. That's all I gotta say. I'll figure out some catchphrase eventually.
All right then, y'all. Take care, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Later.